CSPPA Ranking Methodology 101. Introduction. On August 14, 2020, CSPPA launched a new ranking system for professional CSGO. The purpose of this video is to explain how the CSPPA ranking methodology works and why the CSPPA players think there's a new need for a new ranking system in CSGO. Why a new ranking system? Before we delve into the details of how the new CSPPA ranking system works, let's start by looking at the reasons why professional players feel that there's a need to rethink their rankings. There are three primary motivations. 1. Promoting a more sustainable work life for players. Current ranking system incentivizes professional CSGO players to play as many matches and tournaments as possible and fail to afford players and teams reasonable protections in case players are unable to attend matches or tournaments due to health and burnout issues and the similar. The CSPPA ranking strives to establish more balanced incentives with respect to the number of tournaments and matches that professional CSGO players participate in and introduces a protected ranking for players struggling with health issues. 2. Increase ranking transparency and simplicity. Most of the existing rankings in CSGO do not lay out clear and transparent rules for how they are determined to the CSGO community. The CSPPA ranking is governed by a ranking rulebook which is available for anyone to read on the CSPPA website. Changes to the rulebook will be made public on an ongoing basis. 3. Establish a more inclusive and dynamic ranking system. There's no such thing as a perfect ranking system for a global and ever-evolving esport ecosystem such as CSGO, and CSPPA understands that adjustments to the CSPPA ranking are necessary on an ongoing basis. In preparing the CSPPA ranking, the CSPPA has invited stakeholders from all corners of the CSGO ecosystem to provide input. CSPPA welcomes any constructive input to the CSPPA ranking from the community, which can be directed to the ranking@csppa.gg email. How does the CSPPA ranking system work? The CSPPA ranking is a monthly ranking of CSGO teams. Any team who holds CSPPA ranking points on the date when the ranking is published are included in this ranking system. The CSPPA ranking is determined in 5 steps, which we will walk you through. First, it is determined which tournaments are included during the 9-month period prior to the ranking publication date. Second, it is determined by how many CSPPA ranking points out of 1,000 available each such tournament holds. Third, it is determined by how many CSPPA ranking points each player that participated in such tournament are awarded based on its roster's performance in the tournament. Fourth, it is determined by how many CSPPA ranking points each team holds. Fifth, any team holding CSPPA ranking points are ranked amongst each other based on the number of CSPPA ranking points held, and the CSPPA ranking is then published. In step 1, each tournament from which the CSPPA ranking points can be achieved is identified. In doing so, we look back at the tournaments being played during a tournament window of 9 months prior to the ranking publication date. This window is called the ranking period. A tournament within the 9 months ranking period will be awarded ranking points if it meets certain fundamental criteria, including that the tournament has a total prize pool of at least 50,000 USD, is not scheduled in a player break, and is not a qualifier to another tournament. CSPPA ranking points decay over time, which means that CSPPA ranking points are worth more the closer to the publication they are earned. Step 2. How many ranking points does a tournament hold? Once the universe of tournaments that are included in the CSPPA ranking for the relevant publication date have been determined, we mathematically allocate up to 1,000 CSPPA ranking points to each tournament based on 3 objective categories. The 3 categories from which a tournament can earn CSPPA ranking points are 1. The number of participating teams. Up to 250 CSPPA ranking points are allocated to a tournament based on the number of teams participating in such tournament. The more teams that participate in a tournament, the more CSPPA ranking points are awarded to the tournament. 2. Number of top 20 teams participating. Up to 500 CSPPA ranking points are allocated to a tournament based on the number of top 20 teams participating in such tournament. The higher number of top 20 teams that participate in the tournament, the more CSPPA ranking points are awarded to that specific tournament. 3. The amount of prize pool. Up to 250 CSPPA ranking points are allocated to a tournament based on the total prize pool of such tournament. More points will be awarded the higher the total prize pool a tournament has. In Step 3, the CSPPA ranking points of tournaments are awarded to each individual player which has participated in a tournament based on its roster's performance in said tournament. Step 4. How many ranking points does each team hold? In Step 4, the total CSPPA ranking points of each team is determined. This is done by simply adding together the CSPPA ranking points of the players of such team who hold the most CSPPA ranking points at that time. Step 5. How are teams ranked? Finally, in Step 5, each team are ordered by the respective number of CSPPA ranking points. And voila, the CSPPA ranking is now determined. Thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget, the CSPPA welcomes any constructive input to our ranking from the community, which can be directed to ranking@csppa.gg.